For more than 2 centuries, the U.S. has served as guardian of the Western Hemisphere. America's role grew stronger with the Cuban Missile Crisis and the spread of communism into Latin America. Now come warnings of a new threat close to home in the form of Iran and its proxy Hezbollah.
They are using mosques in Argentina and all the way up through the continent to proselytize, to identify disaffected Latin youth, to recruit, to convert.
Former Bush administration official Jose Cardenas says a potential Iranian-led terror network has been established throughout Latin America.
Developing assets, developing intelligence, so that when an order comes to go operational, it is almost instantaneous that they can.
Venezuela operates as Iran's main hub. Prior to 2005, Iran invested nothing in the South American country. Yet in the past 6 years alone, Iran and Venezuela have conducted over $40 billion in trade, as strongman Hugo Chavez has welcomed the Iranians with open arms.
They have identified each other as mutually useful, beneficial partners. And so as Iran has attempted to evade international sanctions, Hugo Chavez has invited them in to basically establish a platform that allows Iran to use the Venezuelan banking system.
He says in addition to banking, the Iranians are using Venezuela to mine uranium for use in nuclear weapons. There have also been reports of a planned Iranian missile base in Venezuela.
These missiles would obviously be able to reach urban centers in Florida, but they would also be able to reach the Panama Canal. And if they debilitate the Panama Canal, that would have profound economic consequences for the United States.
Cardenas believes that in the event of a U.S. or Israeli strike against Iran's nuclear facilities, Iran would be well positioned to strike back.
If the U.S. Cold War with Iran turns hot, they're going to use their platform in Venezuela to strike at U.S. interests.
Wherever Iran goes, its terrorist proxy Hezbollah follows. That includes Latin America. Hezbollah has maintained a presence in the notorious tri-border region for 3 decades. It used this lawless area, located where Brazil, Argentina, and Paraguay meet, as a launching pad to attack a Jewish community center in Buenos Aires and the Israeli embassy in Argentina during the early 1990s. Hundreds of people died in those attacks. Hezbollah set up shop in this specific area because of its large population of Arab expatriates. It's used the same strategy on Margarita Island, just off the coast of Venezuela.
We know that in April of this year there were a couple of Iranian Hezbollah trainers that did training in Margarita Island for operatives that were brought to that place from throughout Latin America.
Former State Department official Roger Noriega says Hezbollah uses Latin America for training, fundraising, and much more. A recent Italian media report said the group has even established a cell in Cuba.
There's a network of mosques and Islamic centers throughout Latin America that are part of this network. They recruit through them, they process people through them.
The most promising recruits, including Latin American converts to Islam, are sent back to the Iranian holy city of Qom for training.
Conventional wisdom is it's all religious training, but no, they learn terrorist techniques, explosives and bomb making and arms training.
U.S. law enforcement officials fear Hezbollah is sharing some of those same techniques with Mexican drug cartels along America's southern border. Mexican authorities arrested a Hezbollah operative last year for attempting to establish a large network in that country.
You've got narco drug cartel tunnels underneath the southern border that resemble what you find in southern Lebanon that are built by Hezbollah.
South Carolina Congressman Jeff Duncan says those tunnels, combined with the cartel's recent use of sophisticated IEDs, point to a possible Hezbollah influence.
There is a strong connection between Hezbollah, Iran, and the Mexican drug cartel, basically wanting to maximize the fact that we've got a porous southern border.
Those connections nearly became deadly in October when U.S. authorities uncovered an Iranian plot to use Mexican cartels to target the Israeli and Saudi embassies in Washington, D.C. On the heels of that plot, Duncan proposed legislation that would make the Western Hemisphere a U.S. counterterrorism focus, specifically the activities of Iran and Hezbollah, whose influence in the region continues to grow. In the past 5 years alone, Iran has opened brand new embassies in 6 different Latin American countries. Eric Stakelbeck, CBN News, Washington.
Now you watch this, and it's got to make you think. Our borders, our Mexican border is weak. I saw something on a news feed the other day where it talks about he pulled a bunch of troops away from the Mexican border. Now, this is crazy. You got to wonder why our president would pull troops away from the Mexican border and make it easier for them to be able to get into the United States than what it already is. It's just something to think about, people.